Okay, so I didn't take the full backup. Fine. So let me recreate this data set. So here import numpy as np and import pandas as pd. Right, so we are just importing these two libraries. We are going to create a churn data. So for this churn data, we will be having a list created. So this list will be having a customer IDs, which is ranging from 1 to 10. And then we'll be having the gender of, not the gender, there's a tenure months. And I'll be having few data points created for this tenure months. So this tenure months is going to have few values there, which is like 12, 5, yeah, like 10 values, right? And churn, I'm just going to have this data key changed. Churn customers. So here we'll be giving them as either 0 or 1. 0, 1, 1, 1, 0, 1, 0, 0, 1, 1, 0. So how many values? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 records we have in the churn also. This will basically say 1 is churned and 0 is not churned. So till here is what we executed yesterday. So I'm going to make it as equal to here. So it understands that this is a list item with the dictionary values. Okay, so we have the values assigned, the data set should get created. So I'm going to create this as a data frame. So pd.data frame, churn data, and we are just going to print and see this. Till here we are good yesterday. But what we did was there were two empty values that was present. So what we'll do, we'll slightly increase the records to 11 and 12, two records more, and I'm going to insert null values to this. So how we can insert the null values? Yesterday we did insert it with
None.
yeah, NaN, but directly NaN is something we'll not be using. What we'll do is we'll intentionally make this complicated because there could be strings or other data types in our data. So here let's make this. I'm saying these customers are churned, one is churned and one is not churned. Now let's recreate this. So now how many records we have? Two specific values are empty here. Okay. So till here we were saying, and to this data set, we were then trying to see if this particular data set is, can we implement a churn logic to this? Right? So before getting into a churn logic, we were supposed to fill the missing values of this tenure months. Right. So yesterday we were saying the missing values in this tenure months can be replaced by mean. So why do you think we can replace it with mean, Deepa?
You said what you said. We discussed about outliers.
Yeah. Yes. Why we are replacing it with mean? What is the specific reason? There is not much
There is no
outliers in this data
outliers.
set. Yeah, there is not much outliers. So mean is something which will not get affected by outliers. Hence, when
Okay.
we are looking into this data set, this is mean is more appropriate than a median. So median
But
can
still,
also be
yesterday also
taken.
there was 135 also, sir. So many were 24, 12, but
Uh-huh.
135 and
Yeah,
36
1
was
month,
also.
3 months, and these things were also there. Correct. Yes,
We
in
thought new
yesterday's data.
customer might be, right?
Yes, yes, yes. 1, 3. So
Oh,
then we'll then
might be a
include
new
that as
customer
well.
also. Okay.
1 and 3. And let me just make it
It became
slightly
312.
bigger, 13 and 14. And let's make it 1 and 0.
In
Okay, now
months, it became
let's
312, sir, not 3 comma or 12.
yeah, sorry. Yes. Okay, now it is fine. Okay, so now we have two empty values, rest all is 1, 3. So now when we are trying to compute this, maybe by our naked eye, we are just telling it for now, but we'll see once we load the data set today with a particular cars data set.csv. Let's apply our IQR and other logic also here so that we can look it better. Right. So for now, when seeing this data set, since it is just for 14 records, so it is okay for us to look into. It doesn't have any outliers for now. But if it is a real time data set where more number of records are there, it might be slightly difficult for us to just conclude by seeing only. So we need statistically proven methods at that point of time. Okay. So now we know that this particular column is having missing values. We are going to replace this missing values. Okay. So how are we going to replace this missing values? Yesterday, we were having this code written. We can write it again also, but just for time's sake. So mean tenure, we are going to calculate. So first we need to calculate the mean tenure for this tenure months column. And here, what we are going to do is we are going to replace all the missing values with NaN. So NaN is what? NaN is the null value which will be identified by Python. So different programming languages have different ways of identifying the null value. So here Python uses something called NaN. So in other languages it will be Na, is null or something like that. Python uses NaN. Right? And then what we are doing, we are converting this particular column because the data type of this particular column is string or an object currently. Because we cannot apply any mean method to an object or a string values. So it will not execute. So I'm changing this column's data type also as float. And then I'm computing the mean. So now what happens? My mean tenure is computed after changing the data type. Yesterday we did one mistake, right? So when we are, yesterday I think this part was missing there in our code. So that's why it was not working. So the replace was not working. The reason for that is this. Okay, let's see that why this was not getting replaced first, and then we'll understand. So could not convert string to float, right? So you see here, I cannot directly, this column is still a string only. I have not changed the column's data type yet. So for that purpose, I'm replacing wherever we are having string in this column tenure months. Once again, I'm replacing it with null, nan, and then I'm converting it to a float, and then I'm filling it with mean tenure value. Is this clear, Deepa and
So that
Sashi?
extra last one we missed yesterday.
Exactly. We didn't actually replace this. So we thought like, okay, since we have already replaced here alone, it is enough. But still that was not enough because we have to convert this column because this column is still a string value only. So we didn't convert this value yet. What we did was for our purpose of computing the mean, we changed the data type alone And then we calculated, but that data type of the new column was what? Float. The existing column was still the old data type only. So now only it got changed. You see here, tenure in months is now in a float value, which is 1.00. You can see now all the values now have changed the data type also. For our convenience, now let's take df underscore churn dot info. Okay, now let's see this. So this will basically tell us what exactly the data type of this column. You see, earlier this was object. Now the column's data type has changed to float. The customer ID is integer. Okay. Is this clear, Deepa, Sashi?
Okay, sir.
Any
Okay, sir.
question? Right. So here what happens is we can learn Python only by committing more mistakes. Right? Don't be afraid to commit any mistakes. That's why I keep telling you guys, code and see. Right? So the examples or the questions, whatever I'm sending it to you on WhatsApp also, please make sure you are trying this out and then trying to see get the answers. Because as you code more and more, the better you get in this. Right? So you have to make mistakes. So as we were doing mistakes yesterday, we got to know what is currently happening in this better. So do not be afraid to commit more errors and mistakes. So it is okay. Definitely errors will be there. You commit more errors, you become a better programmer, better coder. Okay. I hope this example was clear. Now we have replaced the missing values. So that is going to be our first steps. We are going to perform 3 steps here. One is handling the missing data. Next is we will be calculating the churn rate here. And then we will analyze the tenure. So that will be our step 2 and 3. So here we have handled the missing values alone. So that will be our step 1 here. Okay. So this will be our step 1. Sashi, any questions from your side?
No, sir.
Okay, so now we'll calculate the churn rate here. Okay, so what is this churn rate? So this churn rate is nothing but, so I wanted to know out of all these customers, 0 means no churn, 1 means it is churned, right? So the customers are moved out. So overall, for this particular, assume that these are the sample of 14 customers, what we have considered. So I wanted to find out the percentage of customers who have moved out. So how can you compute the percentage of customers who have moved out from this? Deepa, how can we find this?
Means 0.
Yeah, 0 is people who have stayed back. 1 is the people who have moved out.
Left. Okay.
Maybe start how many started, then end how many are there? By end how many are there? Total customer.
Okay. So
Just want direct
or
who have moved out, right? Like
no, we
yesterday,
wanted to
SQL.
calculate the overall churn rate here. Yes.
I mean,
Find the
I mean,
percentage of customers who have moved out.
who total finally until start until now, who many active customers divided by total
Yeah, exactly. How
customers
many active are there and how many? So, for example, if there are 14 customers, how many have moved out here? 1, 2, 3, 4,
divided by
5, 6,
7.
7, right?
Half.
7
Yeah.
out of 14.
14.
14.
Then what will be the
50%.
percentage? 50%, right?
50%.
So that means for my company, 50% of my customers are moved out, which is a alarm bell for me, which means customers are not ready to trust my organization is something I'm able to get. But how can we compute this value? How can we do this? Statistically, the churn rate, how do you think we can calculate?
Give it more discount.
You guys, sorry?
Give more discount, sir.
Yeah, no, give more discount. Retaining the customers is something the strategy that business has to take. So as a data scientist, how do you know that this is 50%, right? Now we just computed it. How can we calculate this?
How can we calculate this? I don't know.
Yeah.
The
How do you think we
like
can calculate
where
this
condition,
percentage?
like case condition. Is there any like case condition to total
It's
by
not
equal to 1 churn?
Any other simpler means to calculate this? Deepa, you have any thoughts? How can we do this calculation?
first we need to filter out churn not equal to 0. Then
Mm-hmm.
divide it by total number of like rows.
Yes.
Total number of
Yes.
churns into one variable.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Then filter out the churns which has one value.
Okay.
And then we can divide it both.
Okay, that's good. So in terms of calculation, we have seen this as a concept itself. Whatever you told me now, there is a particular concept we have already seen. We have even
Standard.
calculated it in the previous step. You have just calculated this also.
So sum of churn by length of data frame.
Okay. Now, if I'm going to write this, you will think why I didn't say this. This is okay. See, churn rate. We
Churn
can
rate equal
calculate the
to
churn rate. Yes.
df dot churn
Yeah, df underscore
score churn.
churn, right? And
Mhm.
here I'm going to consider the churn only. Okay.
Yes.
No need to think the answer
Dot
what
sum.
this is. Dot
Sum.
First is sum. Total value.
Sum, sir, not
mean.
mean. Sum,
Why?
sum.
Why not mean? Why we need some?
Means it is 0 and 1, right? It will active will be who active is come.
No,
Uh,
sum is going to tell me what.
sum is going to
Mean
active users.
Just add along, right? But mean is going to do what?
it's
It's going to
sum of
divide
all.
also, right? Yeah, it is going to divide by 14 also for me,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So
Yes.
why I need to use sum? Instead, I can directly use mean
Yeah, I
and
mean you
then
can
say
directly use.
200. Yeah.
Yes, yes, yes.
So if I'm directly doing this, I don't have to compute this again, right? So see, programmatically,
The
when we are
mean is
thinking,
if the numbers are not 1 and 0, mean is like
ah,
sum of all the numbers divided by
yes,
Total count average.
total, right? So sum is here what? The same 7 will come because the rest all is 0, right?
so
So the
in
sum
this
is
case
going to
this
be
is 1
7.
and 0, but otherwise it is not mean, right?
Okay, no, this example case, right? So this case, what we have considered, anyway, if you see in any problems, Deepa, that's a good question. See, in any problems, as I told you, in a machine learning or a data science problem, our outcome will be either 0 or 1. We call them as a classification problem, or the outcome can be in terms of values itself. So I'm going to predict a house price. In that case, it is going to be value. So in those scenarios, mean may not work in order to see like what is the churn. But if a customer is going to churn or not, so if a customer is going to buy or not, if a customer is going to pick this product or not. So in those kind of scenarios, we can always use this 0 and 1,
Okay.
right? In our real
So
time scenarios,
only
if
in
you
that
see,
case it will work for me.
exactly. In this case, we just want to compute what the churn rate, right? So here we can directly use this. So whenever you, instead of churn rate, in case you want to predict something, you want to predict the price of a house, you want to predict a particular salary of a customers, you wanted to predict a particular portion of things that the customer is currently trying to do. So price of this particular product you are predicting, in those cases, this might not work, right? So in
Okay.
that case, we'll be seeing other examples. How are we supposed to do with those? But for now, you are going to predict doing a forecasting, right? So it's like time series forecasting, we'll be saying. So in those kind of scenarios, we stock price prediction. This will not work, right? So we need something different there, right? So we'll see that cases. As of now, I'm making it a very simple example where it is either a choice, either it's 0 or 1. In those scenarios, how are we going to compute?
Only for
Right?
binary.
Exactly. Binary classification problem, we tell them
Yeah.
generally as. This is called as a binary classification problem. Okay. Is this clear, Deepa?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So now what we'll do is we'll need to print this. I need to print a statement called overall churn rate also before this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use this keyword F. Okay. So F is basically going to tell me I'm going to pass on some values after this. So here I'm going to display this in a new line. So I'm putting /n, and then I'm saying overall churn rate. So overall churn rate, and then I'm going to display this churn rate. So always keep this in mind whenever you wanted to display a value within a particular quoted string, what is already there, you cannot directly display that value. You have to use a special characters in that. So for example, when there is a bracket here, right? So you cannot directly use that. So you have to tell to Python that, okay, this is not my usual character. It is going to be something special. So just make sure, I'm just trying to search where this flower bracket is in my keyboard. Okay, yeah. Yes, still I'm getting used to this Arabic version of this keyboard because I bought this laptop here in Muscat. Okay, slightly the keys are different than our usual ones. I hope the same is the case for you also, Sashi. Are you using a Arabic keyboard here, which comes?
Sir, they are they want everything in Arabic.
Yeah, exactly. So there is no option, right? We have to search
Yes.
for certain keys
Yes.
here.
Yes. Yes.
What, even keyboard? Keyboard is
Yes. The keyboard
Means
and
it will
also,
be
huh?
yes.
It is so
Generally,
shocking.
secondary. It is secondary for the English. After it should be Arabic.
Okay.
yes.
But
For them,
on
they are very
keyboard you
much.
will find alphabets or Arabic alphabets.
Oh, English will
No.
there is
Actually, it is
secondary.
alphabets plus Arabic, but
Yeah.
yes.
Okay.
So for people like us, we need to look out for certain special characters where it is present. So I
Yeah,
thought
we
like
need to
maybe
change
since,
the language to Arabic. Then it will come
yeah,
that greater than, less than. This will work. Otherwise,
yes.
it will
No, a
not
lot of
work.
times by mistake, my keyboard changed to Arabic and it starts typing from right to left. Oh my God, then I have to figure out what is the shortcut to change it back to English. And yes, that's quite a challenge here. Okay. So now in order to display this churn rate, we are using this codes. And you see automatically whenever I'm using this flower bracket, this has been understood that, okay, this is not the text that is usual in nature. I'm going to display something special. So with this percentage symbol also, this is how you will display this. Okay. So now this is going to be our churn rate here. Overall churn rate is 50%. You see, So we have just computed our mean and then told the mean into 100. So which means that our overall churn is 100%. So how can we interpret this particular result? So what's your interpretation of this result, Deepa, Sashi? So if in your company you are seeing most of the customers who are coming, 50% of them are leaving already.
Leaving. Hmm.
What's your interpretation of these business?
Improve the
Not even average,
experience.
maybe.
Uh-huh. Not even average, right? Yeah. These guys have come and they are just shutting down. So it is high time for us to look into why are these guys going? What is
Right.
the factor that is driving these people to move out? So let me take a real-time example, right? So we used to do churn analysis for our insurance products. So
Okay.
Hmm.
I work in a bank, and currently we do sale insurance also, where GIG or MetLife, there will be other third parties who will get
Hmm.
involved. So here they'll come with a problem like based on your customers. I know like you have so many million customers in your bank. Can you tell me out of these customers, who are the customers who are likely to buy this product? Okay, so I instead of targeting all the customers and spending my marketing efforts on everyone, I'll just target to these customers only. And what I'll do is I'll make sure that my products are sold across. So once I'm able to sell the products to all these customers, then let's think about other differentiation, other things that we can do. Right? And this insurance product are quite profitable products, right? Because a lot of money is made because the claim ratio and all these things also are going to be likely lesser comparatively because most of the things are taken care and they just sell the product. And once it is just kind of like a cover only, right? So it is mostly 99 percentage, there will not be an issue. Maybe there is a 1% chance. So that's what that has been magnified and the product is sold across.
But
Right?
they
And
offer 10x, 100x returns, sir.
yes, yes. And they say that everything is on the paper, Sashi, but the actual truth there would be it can be subject to terms and conditions. Right. So at the time of claiming only you will really know how bad that is. At least
Yes,
in
yes.
many countries, I'm not sure on US how is the claim settlement and these things because if the laws are
No, there will
stricter,
be so much of fraud. I mean, I can say
uh,
they will
uh,
always try to reject or deny for one or the other
yeah,
reason. They don't
uh,
want to pay
uh.
basically.
Correct, correct. They don't generally do that. Yes, you are right. You are
There is
right.
no much in India. There is no much insurance.
Uh,
Only 10% people have insurance. They
no,
have
Because it
chain
is
policies,
mandate.
chain guaranteed, chain policy. If you join another
yeah,
person, if you join again, you will get money. These
yeah,
are more.
yeah, true.
Now they are educating, then getting the insurance for
Mm,
everyone, family.
yes, yes, yes. Yeah,
Because it is
true,
not
true.
mandate in India.
Correct, correct. It is not
They
mandatory
make
in
it as
India.
mandate, then everybody has to take. There is no other option, like in
Oh,
US.
you take about this, right? The rail insurance. So whenever we are
Mm.
going to book tickets from IRCTC, you get an insurance by default, right? Or else it
Mm-hmm.
will cost you like 2 rupees or some 3 rupees, something like that. Very low value. See, into
Okay.
multiply it by the number of customers, 1 million customers into 3 rupees. So, what is going to be the claim ratio of all these customers? Mostly, there will not be any train tragedy. Mostly, there will not be anything that is happening as per their terms and conditions, right? So, everything is a profit for these guys. Only thing is, they just need to come and set the shop, just take the money. That's all. Yeah. That's when this churn analysis will be really helpful for us whenever we are going to work with. Okay, so churn rate and this churn analysis is quite helpful. And mostly this can also be used. One is the churn analysis. The other thing where it is mostly like zeros and one scenario is finding whether fraud or not fraud. The particular transaction is fraud transaction or not fraud transaction, right? So this is very critical. So whenever we are going to do a business, so there will be high net worth individuals. There will be people who are like 60 plus, 70 plus who are doing net banking, who have enabled these transactions. There are a lot of frauds happening, especially to target this age group people. So there has been cases where the ATM card numbers have been taken, their PIN numbers have been taken for old people, and they just share these things and
Mm.
they manipulate, misuse, right? A lot of things
Right.
happen here. So it is the duty of the banks to make sure that these transactions do not happen. So that's why we monitor the transactions in terms of what time these transactions are happening. So usually, if they are old people, they will be making the transactions in a particular time, mostly daytime or afternoon kind of. But all of a sudden, when a transaction is happening in an evening time, with a with a particular certain value it is happening, you have seen we used to get some calls immediately there. In ICICI, these guys have enabled it. So whenever we are trying to do some transaction in odd hours for senior
Mm.
citizens accounts, immediately
Alert
we
kind of.
get a call. Yes, we get an alert, we get a call, and then is the transaction done by you? Please type 1 to
Confirm.
authenticate
Okay.
and 2 to cancel, right? So
Okay.
if they really didn't do this transaction, they would cancel it then and there, right? And the location of the customers. So based on these factors, we'll be deciding whether this transaction is a fraud transaction or not. So what we do is we immediately run a trigger on top of this. A model will be running or an algorithm will run based on this. And based on the algorithm's output, there will be a trigger that would have been set. If the customer is above 60 years and the time of the transaction is late night, plus the day of the transaction is happening in a weekend, and the location of the transaction is happening not from the location where the customer usually used to
Card
do.
is issued.
Yeah, in those scenarios, this is a red flag. Immediately
Okay.
raise a trigger.
Mm.
Raise a trigger, call the customers, get a confirmation, and then see if the transaction is real or authentic.
Okay.
Okay, so that's how these kind of analysis is useful. So we'll study the pattern of customers with these data and then take a decision. And I was recently hearing also a lot of our hiring and firing decisions are being done using data science only, right?
Mm-hmm.
So we are tracking all employees. And recently, one of my friend was telling me in Infosys, he works in a data science team. He was given a project to track all the employees hours. Who are the guys who are doing this moonlighting? Who are the people who are trying to not utilize the time judiciously? And
Mm.
all these triggers are set in their system already. So people who are taking a lot of breaks, those who
Mm.
are not really doing the job as is supposed to be done, and when how is their login activity, what are they doing? So taking all the logs from these systems, and then there is a team who is sitting, and that inputs has been given to HR. And he was telling, based on these alerts and triggers, a red flag is sent to their managers first, and the manager to validate this manually. And once after the validation is done, if they are going to do some cost cutting or things, the first thing will be going is for those
Person.
employees. Right?
Okay.
So it has been used for a lot of purpose, this data science. But as we imagine, Deepa, I think we were talking about quantum computing when starting this
Mm-hmm.
class. And yesterday, you might have seen the news. Google has come out with their Willow quantum computing chip yesterday. They've
Oh,
launched that and they have tested it.
okay.
So quantum computing is going to be our next thing that
Big
where
thing.
our focus and things are going to be.
Hmm.
So everything is going
Quantum
to be
also will
quantum.
be come into data science.
Yeah, exactly. Quantum will also, right? Because the processing power is faster, Sashi. See, our neural network model here, when we are going to train this, if it is going to take 12 hours, 13 hours, 16 hours, in a quantum, this can just get executed within a minute, right? So
Okay.
then what happens to your models and these things, whatever you're going to perform, right? It's going to multifold level, it is going to improvise the existing systems. It's going to be even more accurate. It is going to be even more faster, robust. So that's where this quantum is, right? So it doesn't use bits like zeros and ones. It uses something called qubits, right? So it can easily decode all the passwords, right? So if that particular system is there, it is very easy to do decryption of your passwords with multiple within very few atoms. It can just do a million iterations, million permutations. We did study a concept called permutation combination, right? So this
Combination, right?
quantum is capable of doing a million times iteration within a minute. It can just do that permutation combination and try out with various passwords things, and it can easily decode many things there. So security is going to be next hot topic here once this quantum is coming up, right? Yesterday Google has told they have found out their first quantum chip, and that is going to be there in the production very soon, looks like. So once this race starts, this is going to be even more like something very similar to what happened in Y2K,
AI.
right?
Okay.
Very similar to what happened that time. It's going to be there. So be ready. Next is incoming. Next challenge for us. Okay, fine. So now we have taken this data set. Okay, now let's upload a new data set to this. I'm going to upload a used car data set. Okay, so this data set will be available for a limited time only. I think gets removed automatically once we log off the
Okay.
system. So till then it will be there. So okay, now we are done with this data. Missing values, churn rate. Okay, good. So now I'm going to load a CSV data set. Okay, so I'm going to load a CSV data set. So this data set is called used car data set. Okay, so first let's look into this data set. We are going to do some basic operations. You are going to help me do the same. Okay, I'm going to rename this as df underscore car. So here I'm going to read this data set from this location, used car data set dot CSV, and I'm just going to print the data. So I think yesterday only we saw this, but today we are going to work with this data. So this is a used car information. You see here, there is a brand name that is there. See, in some brand names, you can see HONDA is in small, some it is in caps. So it is it is not in a proper format. And similarly, the model also, the same issue is there here. And we have the year of manufacture, that is fine. We have age of this car, and year of manufacturing is also not on the right data type, I believe. So it's not in a date format. Kilometer driven, there is a comma and there is km that is also given along. So we cannot basically take this as a numeric. And here you see, here it is with decimal place, here it is without decimal place. So it's not in a consistent format, right? And it is not in the format what we are supposed to look into. And also let's come to our other key fields here. There is something called additional information that is given. That's okay, at least. And next is having something called ask price. So what is this ask price? It's the price in which the car is, the owner has put it across for sale. What is going to be the price of that? This also has a comma along with it, right? So basically what is happening here, this particular data set is not in a consistent or a very specific format wherein we can process this information further. Okay, so we are going to look into this data set now and try to see like how we can make this better. So that is going to be our challenge, what we will be doing it for next 1 hour time. Okay, so here we since we have this data set already, so how can I see the information about this data set, like how many columns are null, missing, what
Info
I
and
can
describe.
use, describe or info. What does
Info.
describe do and what does info do?
Describe only numeric it will show.
Okay, very nice. And this one, info,
Everything.
it shows
Object type.
everything. Very good. Okay, let's do that then. Okay, so this is going to, then I'm going to say df underscore car dot info. First I'll see what information this car is having, car data set. So here these are the data points what we have, and there are few null values also. The kilometer driven is having null values. Asking price is having null value. Right. So there are this is having one null value. Rest is I think rest all are okay. Rest all columns are okay. And let's as of now, because it the describe will only show for numerical values, it doesn't show for categorical. I know for sure this kilometer driven is going to be a numeric value, right? So I might have to change this kilometer driven. I might have to replace this kilometer in my text with a normal space, and then I might have to remove the commas also here. So you are going to help me using the very similar way what we did here. You are going to use this operation and try to tell me like what are we supposed to do with this data set. Okay, so I'm going to code only because I have shown you an example. Now it is your time to tell me what am I supposed to do. Okay, so now the problem statement is clear. Let's see the data set once again for your confirmation. You can see, let's first take this column, kilometer driven. I want to replace this comma and kilometers with blank values and then convert this column into a float or an integer. Whatever this, that's okay. So how we can do that, Sashi, Deepa?
Dot float of kilometer underscore driven.
Okay, so I'm going to type whatever you will be saying. Okay, df underscore
Underscore
car.
car.
Okay,
Dot.
equal to, okay.
We need only
Uh,
kilometers driven to be float, right?
yes, so I need to just mention
Oh,
that column. That's okay then. Okay, so here I'm going to
kilometers
say
KMS
kilometers
driven.
driven.
Yeah.
Okay, first
No,
I'll
actually,
rename this column. Yeah, okay. I'm just, yeah, okay. Kilometer driven. Okay,
dot.
so here, okay,
No,
what am I going to do here?
no. Float of that value. DF
Yeah,
underscore. Yeah.
okay.
Dot float of KM underscore driven.
Okay, I'll show you this example. Now, seeing
Mm.
this, you tell me. So for tenure months, we have
Mm.
taken, we are replacing the tenure months wherever blanks were there, we have replaced it with NAN. And
Mm.
then we changed the type to
That's
float,
type. Okay.
and then we found the mean value. So that is last step now. Now,
Okay,
seeing
so
this as an example, can you or Sashi tell me what am I
dot
supposed
as
to do?
type of float.
Okay, so okay, so I'm just changing it as type to float. Okay, fine, that is done.
In the bottom line, you need to print that variable df underscore car of game driven.
That alone is enough. That will change the value to float. Okay, and giving
No, sir.
kilometer. Okay, yes, Sashi. Why no? And what is your answer for
How
this?
the km will go to integer?
So now what is happening?
We need to replace
Key
the
error.
values.
Yeah. Following exception, it has raised the exception. It is saying key error, kilometer driven. Maybe I think yeah. So now I'm going to correct this. It is case sensitive, and it is also you have to give the correct
So
name.
wherever the values are there, it can just convert them to float, right?
Yes, wherever the values are there, it will convert to float. Okay, so this will work. Okay, so this should work, but
There also,
here
sir,
there is an issue.
before as type also you need to replace
Right,
that
right,
variable.
right. Yeah, yeah. Sorry. Yes. So here also there is one more kilometer driven. Let's change everything.
Print.
And there is a space. I'll remove the space. Now it is done. Okay. What is happening? Could not convert the string to float. So this is saying this is taken as a string. 98 comma 000 km is
Because
there.
it has variables.
Yes.
Km.
It has.
Okay.
Yeah. So now what are we supposed to do, Sashi? What do you think?
Characters.
We need to replace km to just no space like comma comma.
Right.
Column,
Okay,
two
let's do
columns.
that. Km driven dot replace. So I'm going to replace it with what?
Km.
So first I need to search for the string km. Okay.
Yeah.
So km I'm taking.
Then
You want me to replace it with what?
with no, just commas. Oh yeah, columns. That's it.
Just two spaces. Okay.
Then dot.
Okay.
Then replace again.
One more replace.
Yes.
Replacing comma.
Yeah, comma to
Yes.
same.
Comma to this. Okay.
Yes.
Great. So, and then I'll change this type to integer or float.
Float.
It will. Yeah, integer. No issue. Integer.
Integer
There
will
is
work.
no means there is no comma, right? There is no after. Yeah, integer it will work, I think. Why?
Okay,
Because
let's
there is no
try
after
first
decimal,
integer.
right? There is no decimals.
So why
Dots.
float, Deepa? Why
Yeah,
you
fine, sir.
thought it will be
It is
float?
not price. Yeah, you won't get 98.00
Yeah.
kilometer.
Okay, so that's fine then. Okay. Now let's see.
Invalid literal for int with base 10.
Yeah. So
Sorry.
there is a specific limit for an integer. So it is going more than that. So 98,000 to the base 10 kind of, this is not able to convert this or store this value in integer. Ideally, integer is for a lesser data types where the values are lesser. So let's make it as float. And then now let's try this again. Again, still there is an issue. What is this?
Is it
Could not
properly
convert string
replacing?
to float.
No, it is not properly. String replace maybe there is string replace. Replace is not happening properly.
Replace is not happening.
Just whatever dot as type, remove this one and just
Yeah, at
only
a time,
print
can we
the.
remove both? In one step,
Yes.
can we remove twice, sir?
Yeah, that's something what we'll see now. Okay, I'm going to remove once and then try this now. So still there is an issue.
No, sir.
So
Just
because
remove the remove the as type float. Don't convert
Okay.
now. Just remove it.
Just remove it. Okay.
Just remove it. Then we'll see the result is
Right.
yeah.
Okay. You are saying I'll not convert to as type
Yeah.
now. First, let me remove.
Print it. Now
Okay.
It
this
didn't
is
go.
not replacing. Not
Yes.
yeah. String is need to be. I think need to search. I don't know. I think
Mhm.
string dot str
So
dot
it is still
replace.
showing the same kilometers,
Yeah,
right?
nothing
Yes.
changed.
Okay.
Sir,
Nothing
try
is
one
changed.
one by
Why?
one. Do
Why?
not put
Why it
two
didn't change?
replace at a time.
Why it didn't change? Yeah.
Sir,
One
dot
replace at a
replace may not work. Try only
Okay. Okay.
one, then
So
again
let's
filter
go
it.
as what Deepa says. We'll do this. Okay.
No, no,
No.
this also didn't work.
Yes. Okay. Still
Mhm.
no. Why it is not replacing? What is happening? Why do you think? See, the syntax is fine, right? So you're trying to
Yesterday
replace
also you did.
as type float, and then we are taking this value, just replacing it. I hope the syntax there is no issues. But why this is not replacing?
It is object also we can make it to. It is need to convert to string or something. It is object to
Mm-hmm.
string like this.
Okay. Okay, I'm giving you 10 minutes time with a break. You can
Okay.
do Google, you can do a research and come back. Right? Let's take a break for 5 minutes and then we'll meet in another 10 minutes time. I want the answer for why this is basically not working.
Okay.
Yeah, fine, Deepa.
Okay.
Mm.
We'll see on how we can do this conversion there after the break. But I want you to first do some research, try to explore this pandas data set and try to find it out. It's very simple,
Mm.
something basic we are not doing here. So that's why it's not replacing. You can find it out.
Okay, sir.